Good morning, Masechet Pessachim, Ayin Aleph, Amoud Bet today, but we're going to go back to Ayin Aleph, okay? And I need to review with you what we said yesterday at the end of this year, just to make sure it's clear, because that's what we're going to deal mostly with today. Then we're going to get to Mishnah. Mishnah should be pretty easy. We are on the big lines. We are on the first word of the line that says Lefanav. The last three words on the line are Amar Rav Kana. Now, if I count from the big lines, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the big lines. Amar Rav Kana.
Tu veux celui-là, il est plus facile à lire? Ils sont plus gros.
Menayin ne'emurin chagigat 15 shenifsalim belina. We're not talking about Nisan. And on Nisan, there are many korbanot to bring this month. There's one korban to bring, which is Erev Pesach on the 14th of Nisan. It's called Chagigat Yudalid. We've spoken about it the last few days. The Chagigat Yudalid is to accompany the Korban Pesach. The Korban Pesach, of course, is to eat on the night of the Seder. You're supposed to eat a piece of meat. From that sacrifice was the Korban Pesach. On that Korban Pesach, if the Korban Pesach has the certain qualifications, then you will, if it meets certain qualifications, you're going to bring another korban with it, korban chagigah, which allows you to eat in a satisfying way a lot of meat, because you got to eat a lot of meat on that night. And sometimes if you don't have enough meat to go around, so you're going to bring an extra korban. That's the chagigah of the 14th. We're going to talk about that soon today, so I'm bringing it up again. There's another thing which is called the chagigah shlamim. It's another korban you bring on the 15th. On the 15th of Nisan, you're going to show up to Jerusalem, so you're going to be there a lot those days. You're going to be there on there for Erev Pesach, you're going to show up. Like we said last week, there's about 12 million Jews that are going to be there. You're going to bring your Korban Pesach as well. You're going to bring, in the time of the Gemara there was 12 million people, you're going to bring another, you're going to Korban Pesach, you're going to bring maybe another Chagigah, maybe yes, maybe no, another Chagigah of the 14th. And the next day, you're going to wake up, you're going to go to Shachit, you're going to come back to Beit Mikdash, you're going to bring a Korban of the 15th. Every korban, it's a shlamim basically. Shlamim is a certain type of korban. Every korban has a few things to it. This korban has to be, of course, slaughtered. Has to be. You got to receive the blood. You got to sprinkle the blood on the mizbeach. You're going to eat part of it, and part of it is going to be burned on the mizbeach. That's called the cherev, the fats and the limbs. That's called hekter, cherevim, ve'evarim. You're going to burn them on the mizbeach. It's part of the finishing the job. If you didn't do that, it's not a korban. It's not a kosher korban. Now, there are certain allotted times for each job, for each thing. One is to eat, and one is to bring them on the mizbeach. So far, so good. So here we're saying, Rav Kana says, Amora, Menai ne'emure chagigat 15 nifsalim belina. If you leave them over to the next morning, they are not kosher. And we're not talking about the next morning, we're talking about 2 mornings later. So, we'll explain. The 15th of Nisan, you shecht your korban. You're allowed to eat it that 15th of Nisan. You're going to eat it the night of, which is the 16th of Nisan. You're going to eat it the next day, which is the 16th of Nisan. The night, you cannot eat it anymore. It's the 17th of Nisan. And you're going to bring it the next... My mistake. That's when you're allowed to eat it. So you're allowed to eat it day 1:15, the night 16, which is the day 16, that's already 2 days and 1 night, and that's where you're allowed to eat it. But it's got to be brought in the korban, it's got to be brought to be burnt on the mizbeach the night before. You got to bring it on the mizbeach by the first morning. So the 15th you shecht it, that 15th you can eat it, you can be eating at night, but by the end of that first night, you got to bring it on the mizbeach, the fats and the limbs, to burn them, and if not, you did a problem. And how do we know this is true? Shenemar lo yalin cherev chagi ad boker. Let's read that pasuk together. Bet lo tizbach al chametz dam zivchi lo yalin cherev chagi ad boker. The pasuk says in Shemot Chav Gimel Yudchet, the end of the pasuk, you gotta lo yalin. Do not let it go to the next morning. Yalin is let it, stay overnight, from lashon of laina. Cherev chagi ad boker. You cannot make it to the morning. Got to be burnt on that first night. The next pasuk reads it. Reshit bikurei ad matecha. See the next pasuk in Torah Gimel. Reshit bikurei ad matecha tavi bet Hashem Elokecha. You're going to bring, which is called bikurim. Bikurim is the first fruits that you're going to bring them to the Beit Mikdash. And the pasuk saying they're bringing the first fruits is called Reshit bikurei ad matecha. You're going to bring the first fruits. So what do we see? There's it's 2 psukim which are juxtaposed, which the first one is talking about a korban. The Emurim. The second one is talking about Bikurim, and the word Bikur, it says over say Reshit. So you got to bring it Reshit the first day. So there are 2 days you could have thought that you got to burn it by. There is the 15th where you shechted it, 16th at night where you're allowed to eat it, 16th in the morning got to be burnt. That's the cutoff. 16th in the morning. You might have thought that it could be also that the 17th at night you're not allowed to eat it, but you're allowed to burn it the next morning. And the Torah says Bikurim Reshit. So you got to burn it on the first day. That's what it says. To teach you that with the first boker is the next day one. The Gemara says, and it would not be the 17th. Everybody's with me so far? So now you are shechting on the 15th. You're allowed to eat it. You're allowed to eat it at night. You got to burn it that night. How do we know? Because the pasuk says ad boker. Don't let it go ad boker. But what is boker? Is boker number 1, 16th in the morning? Is boker number 2, 17th? Why would boker number 2 be in the equation over here? Because you're allowed to eat on the 16th. You eat on the 15th, you eat on the 16th at night, you eat on the 15th of the day. You can't eat at 16th. You eat at 16th in the day, 15th in the day you eat, 16th in the night you eat, 16th in the day you eat, 17th at night you can't eat. 17th in the morning you can't eat, of course. So since you're eating on the 16th in the day, you might have thought that since you're allowed to eat, you can all the way go to the next morning and burn them on the 17th. No. Since it says Reshit, next pasuk, you got to burn them on the 16th. You continue to eat them, but you got to burn them before. The Gemara says, Matkiv Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef challenges. Tama dichtav Reshit, halo katav Reshit, hava amina mai boker sheni. One second, Rav Kana. Says Rav Yosef. If you're saying all this because it says Reshit. Without your word Reshit, I would have thought that you can bring I can burn the Evarim, the fats, on the next morning, the second morning, 17. When it says Boker, it's Boker number 2, 17. Mi'ika mide de basar ifsile me'urta v'amurin at safra. Have we ever found the case where the meat is not allowed to be eaten, and you're still allowed to have an extension to continue to burn? We never found that. In general, the allocation that we give you to eat is always more than the time you have to burn. You got to burn, and you're allowed to continue eating. So, according to you, without the word Reshit, we would have thought that you're allowed to finish eating on the 16th in the day. You can't eat at the 17th at night. You can burn all the 17th night to the morning. You can't leave it to the 17th in the morning. We'd have thought that. Where have we ever found such a thing? We've never found seemingly a thing where you're allowed to eat and you continue burning. It's always the opposite. You got to finish burning and continue eating. The Gemara says, we have found it. Almalo, we have. What do you mean? Like we said yesterday, there is Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach is of course, where you're shechting on the 14th of Nisan. And there, the basar yivsina mechatzot. You got to eat it till chatzot laila. You got to stop eating it. Ve'emurin ad safra. And you're allowed to bring it till the morning. So we have found it. So why exactly you're bothering? Nothing to be bothered by. So actually, it's a very, very valid question. I'm going to stop and repeat a few times because it's hard, and we're going to have the next part to go, so you have to keep track. So we're talking about the Chagigah of the 15th. The Chagigah of the 15th is a korban that you're shechting the day of the 15th. Don't forget that the new day starts at nighttime. We start Shabbat at night. Sate Korobim is the new day. So the 15th of day is here, you're allowed to eat it. The 16th at night, and now the pasuk says, there's the 16th at night, and then it says, don't let the fats go to the morning. You got to finish burning them by the end of the night. Which night is that? Is that the night of the 16th, which is following the 15th day? And you got to burn it by that day, and you continue eating into the 16th day? Or are we talking about shechted on 15th, eat it the 16th night, eat it 16th day, and you got to burn it by the 17th at the end of the 17th at night in the morning? Says Rav Kana, I'll tell you, it's the first one, because the next pasuk says Reshit. Asks on the Rav Yosef, 1 second. According to you, without the word Reshit, we would have thought the second morning. We've never found that. Always eating it extends longer than burning it. But according to what you're proposing, we would have allowed to eat it the whole 16th day. We're not allowed to eat it at the end of the 16th day, and you got to burn it the whole 17th night. We've never found that. Says Abaye, yes we have. We found it in Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach, You shechted on the 14th. It will be eaten in the night. When you come on your night of Pesach, you eat your matzah and eat your korban Pesach, and you can only eat it till midnight. The eating is till the allocation to eat it is till a certain amount of time, and you're allowed to burn it the whole night till the next morning. So we see that it is a valid thing. So it is valid what Rav Kana said. Why are you bothered at Rav Kana's drash that the word Reshit is coming to tell you the first day, not the second day? Everybody got it? So far so good? God? Yoni Meyer? Yes? Sort of? Okay, so let's go weiter. So now what the Gemara is going to say, here's what the real question was. Amar Rava, Rav Yosef achi kakashe. So now we have to go back to explain Rav Yosef's actual kushya. What was bothering him? Because we see that his question was valid. Meaning that Rava's statement, that Rav Kana's statement was valid. What was Rav Yosef being bothered by? Because Abai just proved that we have found the case that Rav Yosef shouldn't be bothered by. So the Gemara says, here it is. Mi ika mide de iru tana libasar lo bai reshit v'Rav Kana ne'murein bai reshit. We're going to read now a Braita together. And the Braita is speaking about when you can burn meat still. When you can eat the meat still. Again, like we said, in every korban there is eating, in every korban there is burning. So when it comes to eating the meats of the korban, we're going to have now a Braita which has possibility of day 1, possibility of day 2. And we're going to see that the Braita, which is Tanaim, which is before Rav Kana, when it comes to eating the Braita, they don't need the word Reshit to tell you that it is the first day. And would we need that for Emurim? In other words, eating the korban usually always goes longer than burning the korban. And when it comes to eating the korban, we're going to see that we don't need the word Reshit to tell you can eat it first day, in a certain case. If that's true, if eating usually goes longer, and we're saying that the word Erev, we're saying that the word Ad Boker is going on the first one for eating, for sure when it comes to burning, you're not going to need the word Reshit to tell you it's the first one. I'll repeat that one more time. We're going to now speak about a question, till when are you allowed to eat a certain korban? Day 1 or day 2? When we say till Boker, is Boker in general 1 or 2? Well, there we don't need anything else to tell you it's 1. It's for sure 1. There's no way of thinking it's 2. So 1 second. If eating the korban always we allow you more time, and the word Boker that we have over here is telling you day 1, why Emurin, which is usually less time than eating, we're going to need the word Reshit to tell you it's day 1 and not automatic instead of day 2. Why in the world would we go to day 2 when already on eating we automatically go to day 1? Now this is going to become more clear as we read the Braita. Here's the Braita, the Tanya. Last line on Ayin Aleph. Lo yalin min habasar asher tizbach be'erev b'yom rishon laboker. Let's read this pasuk. It's a new pasuk. Here we're talking about the Korban Chagigah of the 14th. Remember I told you that there's 2 Korbanot? There was the Korban of the 14th and there's the Korban of the 15th. Let's read the pasuk of pasuk Dalit. Lo yira'eh lecha se'or b'kol giborecha shivat yamim ve'lo yalin min habasar. Do not leave over the meat asher tizbach ba'erev, that you shechted in the afternoon, b'yom harishon laboker. Very good. Again the same thing. Do not leave over the meat that you shechted in the afternoon. Don't leave it b'yom harishon laboker. Now you see over here that this is talking about the korban of the 14th, because the korban of the 14th is only one that is in the afternoon. The korban of the 15th is any time of the day. Only the korban of the 14th, which is at the same time of korban Pesach, is more towards the afternoon. So this pasuk is speaking about the korban of the 14th as accompanying sometimes the korban Pesach. And let's read it again. Lo yanin min habasar asher tizbach ba'erev b'yom rishon laboker. Here's a clear pasuk. Don't leave it till the morning. Turning the page. Limed an chagigat yudalet shenecheret l'shnei yamim ve'layla echad. Here we see that the korban of the 14th is eaten for 2 days and 1 night. So when it is Erev Pesach, when I brought my korban Pesach, when I'm bringing the second Chagigah together with it, which is the Korban Chagigah of the 14th, I can eat it that first night. I can eat it the night of the 15th. I can eat it the day of the 15th. and I got to burn it on the night of the 16th. L'shnei yamim v'layla echad. This pasuk is telling us that it can be eaten the whole next day. The Gemara says, "O eno," or maybe that's not what it means. "O eno ela liyom v'layla." Maybe it actually means that I can only eat this korban chagiga on the night of. I can't eat it for one day and one night, meaning I shechted on the 14th. Obviously, I'm not eating it then. I'm eating the next night, which is the 15th, and that's all. I can only eat it the 15th night, and I can't eat it the next day. Maybe that's what it means. And the Gemara explains, what could the discussion be? Keshumer biyom harishon, in the same pasuk, it says, don't leave it over till biyom harishon. What is that? Hare boker sheni omer, o eno ela boker rishon. What does that mean? I can't leave it over to the boker rishon. What is boker rishon? Is boker rishon the first next morning, or is it the second next morning? Obviously, when it says rishon, you would think that means the first one. So why would it have a meaning to be the second one? We're going to get there. So now, let's read the pasuk again together. Just the end of the first pasuk, Aleph and Torah. V'lo yalin min habesar. This is the korban of the 14th. The shchagia of the 14th. Don't leave it over. Asher tizbach ba'erev biyom harishon. La boker. Don't leave it over to the next morning. Is that rishon the boker? You've checked it on the 14th. Does it mean you got to burn it the 15th of night and don't leave it over to the 15th in the morning? Or does it mean that you got to burn it the 16th of night, don't leave it to the 16th in the morning? We don't know. Umani mikayem. So far so good. So we are unsure with this braita. The braita is unsure what to do. Umani mikayem chagiga necheret l'shtei yamim v'layla echad. The problem with this is if we explain this braita this way, that it's only one day, turns out that it's only eaten for one day and one night. Turns out that we have chagiga that's only eaten on the 14th, and we say that it's eaten, but it's not really eaten. It's shechten on the 14th, and it's eaten only in the day. Just means that it's around for one day the 14th, and it's around for one day at night. But by the 15th it's gone. The problem with that is we have a whole other braita that says that the chagiga is 2 days and one night. So what are you going to do with that teaching? Which chagiga exactly is 2 days and one night? Mani mikayem chagiga necheret l'shnei yamim v'layla echad chutz mizo. We'll have to say that it's not this one. Okay, the problem with that is keshumer, when the pasuk says bo, when the pasuk says im neder im nidava, nimed al chagigat yudalet shenecheret l'shtei yamim v'layla echad. So we have the answer. Well, we have another pasuk. Let's read that pasuk bet. Im neder unedava zevach korbano. If you will be bringing a neder and a nedava. What is the difference between a neder and a neder? A neder, they're both the things that you donate to the Beit HaMikdash. However, a neder is upon you, and a nedava is on an item. And I'll explain. You can say you are giving $100 to the shul. You did not specify which $100. So even if you lost your wallet, which had $1,000, then you still got to give your $100. But if you found a nice, you found something beautiful, and you found a Rolex watch on the floor, and you said you're donating it to the shul. If the Rolex gets stolen from you, you don't have to give another Rolex, because you said this Rolex is owned by the shul, not a Rolex. If you say a Rolex, or you say this Rolex, that's the only difference between a neder and a deva.
You designated the night.
Designate, very nice. So
How do we even consider 2 days for Chagigat? The whole purpose of Chagigat is to have enough food to complement the first korban.
So Chagiga is not. There's many types of Chagiga. There's a type of Chagiga which is the 14th. Chagiga is a type of korban. That type of korban can be brought many times. For example, this pasuk is being where you decide it's a Chagigat Shlamim. So
Masechet Chagiga is all about this?
very much about this, yes. So if you're bringing now a im neder o nedava zevach kobano biyom ikrivo et zivcho yachen umimachavat vanotar mimenu yachen. So there is the chagiga chaim of the 14th. There is the chagiga of the 15th. And it seems that the chagiga falls into the general category of shlamim. And shlamim in a neder and nedava, it says over here, let's read it. Im neder u nedava zevach korbano. If you have a neder and nedava, it's your korban. Biyom akrivo, so when do you eat it? Et zivcho yachen, the day you bring it. Umimachorat, and the next day. So that means if you're eating the next day, you're eating the night in between. You shech today, and you can eat it tomorrow. Eat it today, eat it tomorrow. That means for sure you can eat it tonight. So you have in general the shlamim, the chagiga is 2 days. So what do you do with that pasuk? Now the problem is, look what it says over here. V'im neder o nedava. It says im neder. That word im neder is superfluous. It's adding something else. The word it could have just said neder o nedava zevach kobano. What is v'im neder? If it is, that word is coming to add over another korban. It's the korban of the 14th. We're adding the korban of the 14th that it is 2 days. So let's read it again. כשהוא אומר, אם נדר או נדבה נגמר, נימד על חגיגת י"ד שנחדת לשתי ימים ולילה אחד. To teach you that the חגיגה of the 14th is for 2 days. So now we have over here a very clear pshat that it is 2 days. The korban of the chagiga is 2 days. I just want to repeat this one more time. Let's get this properly. It's hard. Huh?
2 more times.
Huh? It's hard. It's hard for me also.
As long as my soul is listening.
Huh? By the way, I'm working on myself also, even though I sort of get it, but as I read it a few more times, I get it more clear. We have a pasuk. This pasuk is speaking about the korban of the 14th. The korban of the 14th is a korban that you bring. It's called the chagiga. It's not the korban Pesach. It's accompanying the korban Pesach. We bring that when we need more wheat. What is the halachot of this korban of the chagiga 14th? How many days can you eat it? From the pasuk, it's uncertain. Because the pasuk says that you can eat it. Lo yanin min basar asher tizbach be'erev. You shechted it yesterday in the afternoon. Yom Rishon. Don't leave it till Yom Rishon. What is that Yom Rishon? Is that Yom Rishon till the next morning, 15th in the morning? It's got to be finished burnt, or is it till? Or is it till the next day after, the 16th? We're not sure. I'm reading it again. Nimed el chagigat yudadet sheneched l'shnei yamim v'layla echad. Oh, so we teach you that it's 2 days and 1 night. Or enu ena liyom, I'm talking second line again. Or enu ena liyom v'layla. Or maybe it's 1 day and 1 night. So here, and what will the machloket be? Keshu omer beyom harishon laboker, hare boker yesheni. When it says Yom Rishon, it's really the second day. It's the 16th, not the 15th. Hare boker sheni amu. Or eno ena boker rishon. Maybe it's the 15th. Then what am I going to do with the chagiga neched shtei yamim v'nayin echad? Chutz bizo. In general, the chagigot are 2 days except this one, so we don't know what to do. Is this when it says b'yom rishon? We said b'yom rishon. Is that 15 or is it 16? So the Gemara says, well, kishumer im neder unedava nimed al chagigat yudadet sheneched shtei yamim v'nayin echad. Well, here we have a pasuk which is speaking about neder unedava. The neder and nedava. Neder and nedava is the chagiga. This chagiga is 2 days. Since there's an extra word over there, im neder, im nedava. So what do you do with that word im neder? It's coming to add the chagiga of the 14th. So the chagiga of the 14th is brought. When is it brought? It's brought on the 14th, but it's eaten for 2 days. So now we have the answer of that word biyom harishon. The Gemara questions this whole braita. Amar mo. Now we go back to this braita. You said first that you said Bayom Rishon, and then you told me that's teaching us it's going to be for the next. It's going to be 2 days. It's going to be valid till day number 2. But then you said O eno ena boker Rishon. Hamart keshomer Bayom Rishon hare boker sheni. This braita doesn't make sense because the braita first says we say Bayom Rishon. We're telling us it's day 2, and then we come back. We say maybe it's day 1. 1 second. If you're telling me something with certainty, why do you question it again afterwards? If you're telling it to me, that's the halakha. What is this language that you're telling me? It's Yom Rishon, or maybe really it's the second day. So the Gemara answers, Achi kama. O ena b'shtei chagigot. Actually, maybe what this pasuk is talking about is 2 different chagigot. Like I told you, there's the chagiga of the 14th, and there's the chagiga of the 15th. So maybe this pasuk is talking actually about 2 different chagigot. Akatu medaber. Echad chagigat yudared, v'echad chagigat tedvav. Maybe it's talking about the one the 14th, maybe it's talking about the one the 15th. V'zo lebokra bokra, v'zo lebokra. Really, what it means is that we're taking it when it says the boker, it's talking about 2 different chagigat, and each one has till the next morning. Each one has the next morning. And now I need to read you the Rashi how this says this. Rashi says, Hare kamar, achi kamar, o eno. Let's read it. Ela, o ela, achi kamar, o eno ela לילה ולילה. ותכתיב ביום הראשון לבוקר, מילתא אחי תהי. ובשתי חגיגות דיבר. Maybe the Braita is talking about two different chagigots, which goes to the first morning. 14 ו-15, 14 and 15. זו לבוקרה וזו לבוקרה. Each one to its respective morning. והכי משמע קרא. Now we're going to go back to the pasuk and give how it's learned in the possible way of learning it. לא ילין מבשר חגיגת י"ד אשר תזבח בערב וסתם נינה לבוקרה. Let's read again the pasuk Torah. לא ילין מן הבשר אשר תזבח בערב. That's one korban. And that's talking about the korban of the 14th. It's talking about two different things. Lo yanin, what is it? Lo yanin is don't leave it over to the next morning. So the 14th can be left over to the next morning. And then the next part of it, and back in the Rashi, Meotat izbach b'yom rishon. Danu chagigat chamishasa. Now the rest of us who says b'yom harishon, that's the next korban, the 15th. La boker, lo yanin la boker at shishasa. So maybe this Braita is talking about two different korbanot. One Braita which was the 14th, and one Braita was the 15th. Hadar amar אלא דקיימא לן חגיגת הנכדת לשתי ימים ולילה אחד אם כן. No, then we say, well, we have a rule that the Chagiga is 2 days. אם כן, אם נדר או נדבה במאי. אי בחגיגת י"ד הכתיב ב. יום ולילה. אי חגיגת ט"ו הכתיב ביום ולילה. So then, if we go this way, then we have a difficulty. What is the difficulty? We have a rule that the Chagiga, we know that there is some Chagiga that is 2 days. So if you're telling me that this pasuk and this Braita is talking about the two Chagigot that are only till the morning, then we never found any Chagiga that is going to be for 2 days. So especially that word im. Im, the pasuk says, im neder, im nedava. We added one that is for sure going to be 2 days. Well, it's not the Yudalit and it's not the Tetvav. And a high chagigat tevav. So really, what we have to come and teach is that this pasuk is talking about the chagigat tedvav. Ve'ach kulakra the chagigat yudalet. So this pasuk where it says im is talking about the one of the 15th. That's 2 days, and the other pasuk is chagigat yudalet. Nimed al chagigat yudalet shenechelet l'shtei yamim ve'layla echad. Coming to teach you that it's 2 days. Complicated, right? For me also. Let's try one more time.
The conclusion is coming.
Huh?
The conclusion is coming.
The conclusion is here, but I just want to make sure that I understand it before I say the conclusion. We have a pasuk, okay? Our pasuk is saying, Lo yalin min abasar asher tizbach ba'erev b'yom rishon. Naboker. This pasuk says, Lo yalin min abasar. Do not leave over the meat. Asher tizbach be'erev b'yom harishon. Don't leave it over to the morning. And the Braita is questioning which morning is that. It's being brought on the 14th. So is that not leaving it over to the 15th, Yom Rishon, or to the 16th? Is that called Yom Rishon? The Braita therefore says to us, this is teaching us day number 2. It's telling us day number 2. Or maybe it's day number 1. So then the Gemara questions, 1 second. If you're telling me it's day number 2, why are you questioning it's day number 1? So then actually, what the Gemara comes back and says, actually, maybe it's talking about 2 different korbanot in that pasuk. Maybe that pasuk is actually talking about 2 different korbanot. In other words, it's talking about the 14th, the first part of the pasuk, and the second part of the pasuk is talking about the 15th. And both of them are talking to the boker. So it's actually, the whole pasuk is actually one thing. The whole pasuk is first morning, but 2 different korbanot. How would we read the pasuk? I'll read it one more time. Lo yanin min abasar asher tizbach ba'erev. Don't let it to the morning. That's the 14th. Bayom Rishon, the one you're checking on the Yom Rishon, laboker, and the one on the 15th has to be to the morning, and they're both really going to the first morning. Then the Gemara says, no, we can't do that. Because if we do that, then we have another pasuk that says, im neder im nedava. And there it says that the shlamim is 2 days and 1 night. There, the Chagiga is 2 days in, but there's also an extra ribui over there of the word im. So there is another one that's going to be on the 15th, that's going to be 2 days and 1 night as well. Which one is that? Well, if you're telling me that this pasuk is knocking out the Yudalit and the Tetvav, that they're both only 1 day, so we can't have anything to put that word im on. So therefore, we can't be talking about that. So really, what is this? The im is talking about the Chagiga of the 15th. And this one is talking about the Chagiga of the 14th. And the Chagiga of the 14th is actually going to be 2 days and 1 night. Okay, we seem to have gone over that. Now we go back to our original question. So let's go back to the bottom. So now the Gemara says, Nimed al Chagiga Yudadet shenechere d'shtei yamim v'layla echad. Tama dichtiv b'yom harishon naboker. Demai boker, boker sheni. Akol eicha dichtiv boker stama. Boker rishon. Very nice. What did we just learn now? That the word that you leave in over to, what did we say in our pasuk that we're talking about? We says, לא ינין מן הבשר אשר תזבח בערב ביום הראשון. So you don't leave it at ביום הראשון לבוקר. ביום הראשון לבוקר is telling you when? It's the second day. So when it's coming to eating the chagiga, you can eat it all the way to the second day. That's called eating. And here it says bayom harishon laboker. Since it says bayom harishon, it actually means the second day. So here the Gemara says, my boker, boker sheni. Hakol echad echtiv boker stama boker rishon. So when it comes to eating it, if it wouldn't say rishon, then if it wouldn't say rishon, it would just say stam boker, it would be boker rishon. When it says rishon, it means sheni. So if it just says boker, it's the first one. And that's when it's eating. So the regular word of boker means first one when it comes to eating. Even though it doesn't say reshit. What did we just do over here? We just did a whole exercise to show you that the word boker means day one. When it is eating. So when eating is day one, and usually eating of a korban, we give you more time. And still boker, we're going to say it means the first day without adding a word reshit over there. So why in the world for imurin, burning the imurin, which is usually more time, we're going to say that if you don't have the word reshit next to it, it's going to be second day. We're scared the second day, we got to put reshit to tell you first day. We don't need that. Because what did we just do? If we just go back to the beginning, what do we have? We have a question when it comes to the chagiga of the 15th. And the pasuk says that you got to burn them by the morning. Which morning is that? Is that morning 1 or morning 2? And we said it's morning 1. You know why? Because the next pasuk says reshit. So if you have the option of day 1 or day 2, since the pasuk says the next pasuk says reshit, so it's morning 1. Because boker alone, we're not sure what it means. Maybe it means 1, maybe it means 2, reshit. The Gemara says that's not possible because we just proved to a whole long braita that Chachamim understand the word boker when it says boker, when it says b'yom harishon na boker, that if I'm going quickly, if we would just have the word boker, it would mean the first day. There it says b'yom harishon means second day, so the word boker alone means first day. So if eating the korban, it says you're allowed to boker, it means boker rishon, and eating always by default is longer than burning. So if boker by eating is day 1, why, and it doesn't say over there reshit, we're just going straight by default, it's day 1. Why in the world we're imurim, which is less time usually than eating, we would say, oh, we're going to day 2, but we need the word reshit over there to say day 1. We just got to the Mishnah, the Urchim to you. We'll stop here. Oh.